American 8141. Did you get your clearance through text?
Yeah, American 8141.
Okay, American 8141, that was unreal. Did you say you got it, or yes, that's affirmative, or no?
Well, go to the message, American 8141.
Rock Band 1.
Have a great evening, Rock Band 1. At a gain of 20 knots at 800 feet. See ya.
Roger, thank you.
Already up there, my clearance, American 1091.
Aircraft calling, say again.
It's already up there, my clearance from 1041.
Yes, sir, you are next. Sorry about that. I'll have it to you in just a second.
A rainy Friday evening welcome to you.
And American 1041, actually don't have a flight plan on file for you.
We are at Miami International Airport, and we've received clearance to taxi to runway 8 right, and hoping to make it out of here and down to San Juan for the Friday night Salsa night, Friday night ops. Welcome aboard, Wolfpack Gang. Gamer, always good to talk with you, man. I'm placing bets on what this departure is going to look like, because we're going to be IMC in a hurry, as you can see. Yeah, very low ceiling, very difficult, stormy weather.
Okay, aircraft calling, ready to taxi. Say again, call sign.
Should be interesting. Thanks for the host, Wolfpack. Appreciate it, man.
Delta 85 heavy, hold position. We're getting word from approach that we're going to flip the airport around to the west operation.
Oh, man. Well, that would make things even trickier for us, because
Roger, can we plan for 27
we've got everything kind of ready to rock and roll from 8 right, but you know what?
Roger.
If we have to go down the other end, that's fine. We've got plenty of extra fuel on board, just in case.
Then your taxi route, we're going to go runway 26 left, taxi via Zulu Mike.
Okay, 26 left, we'll go Zulu Mike, Fine Air 726. Yep, there we go. Flipping the airport around, and it's just kind of
You trying to call us earlier?
just kind of one of those nights. So we'll get down to the end here, and if I have a second, I will show you.
Yeah, American 1091 heavy. I have a flight for you, but now I do, so I'll get that worked.
Show you what the flight plan looks like. It's the first time I've really tried an extended overwater route with the DC-8, and so yeah, we'll see how it goes. Starting to get a few things figured out in this plane. The more I get time in the cockpit, the more I like it, and really a fun airplane to fly. What if that guy's going to be? He may be the last guy to take off of 8 right.
And Fine Air 6 heavy, the wind, just hold position right there, please.
A firm. Alright, so winds all over the place. Geez, I just was about to taxi onto
American
the
933, the wind 0.
runway there, wasn't it? Holy cow.
120, runway 8 right, clear for takeoff. Alright, here we go, clear for takeoff, 8 right, American 933.
So we may switch back around. That's actually a more direct departure for us, which is good. The winds currently, yeah, 030 at 9 knots. Thunderstorm activity. And again, you can read the METAR for yourself. Wolfpack is saying might as well get comfortable. It's stormy yet calming. Yeah, it is kind of. I don't mind. You know, I don't mind rainy days, but if you were
Miami Tower, good evening.
really in the cockpit or sitting in one of these seats, you wouldn't be so happy to have this. I'm going to spin it around so it doesn't look like I'm getting ready to taxi onto the runway here. That way it looks like I just was making a wide turn.
American 933, contact departure. American 933, departure. Aircraft calling for clearance. They again call time.
All right, so
American 1387.
that ought to work. So let's take a look here.
1387, Miami Tower, good evening. Clearance on request.
I'll show you the. Let's see, what can I show you? It looks messy. Let me show you the Sky Vector version because it looks a little bit better. But here's the route. I mean, not overly complicated route. Heading out of Miami, kind of southeast the entire way, down through here into San Juan. And I'm not sure, about 2 hours ago, San Juan was landing east. Wolfpack, you lurk away, man. It's good to have you. Pop in later on. It's going to be a 2.5 hour flight, so, or actually about a little more than that probably for us, 3.5 hours. Well, Sky Vector says 3.5. SimBrief says like 2.5. So yeah, pop back in later on. Once we get over the ocean, there's not going to be a lot going on. I understand that, but the landings in this bird are always interesting, as are the departures, and so feel free to pop in and out as you like. Same goes for everybody. So we're just going to kind of hang here, set the parking brake, engines to idle. Yo. A little bit. What's up?
American 1613, you're ready.
I can't write this.
American 1613, runway 8 right, line of speed. Oh, right, runway 8 right, sorry, 1615.
Well, it looks like they're kind of sticking with that east departure here too, so maybe that will be good for us. We'll get spun around here and get rocking and rolling.
American 1481, right turn, Tango, Victor, hold short of runway 12, remain this frequency. Right, Tango, Victor.
All right, altitude heading, all that
And
set.
It looks like we're going to stay east, so if you can do it, left turn Mike and runway 8 right.
Okay, we'll spin around on Mike and back to 8 right, fine air 726. All right, that works for me. Oh man, my grandson is fired up upstairs. I don't know if you could hear that. We're going to go this way though. We're going to do a right 180. I think I've got room here. This thing does turn on a dime. They were built in the day when you didn't have the necessarily every airport had the tugs to push you, and so they really were built to turn super tight. We will see if we make this, or maybe we'll chew up the grass just a little
American
bit.
1613, the wind 030 at Niner, fly heading 120, runway 8 right.
Oh, well, we just got maybe a little bit dirty there. That's not too bad. All right, I got to keep coming around though to Mike, and then we'll get in line for departure, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. So, if you've watched me try to depart with this aircraft in the past, you have seen a couple of issues that have have really I've really been working on, and I sure hope it shows up, because today is the day that you really need to put these practices into actual use. But my departures themselves tend to be roller coaster rides, and then I have a hard time, or I have had a hard time, maintaining proper climb speed. So I've really been researching, really been looking through the pilot operating handbook. Oh, there's a wind shift. Holy cow. And trying to figure out what it is that I need to be doing differently, or what I need to be focusing on. And I think that at least the last 2 trips, things have went much better. And so today, though, will be a different story, because when you get into the clouds and the
Fine Air 726 Heavy, right, 8 right, line up and wait.
line up and wait, 8 right, Fine Air 726 Heavy. You really have to rely on those instruments, and so we're going to just, hopefully we'll be able to pull it off without overspeeding or stalling. It seems like for some reason we kind of have a hard time finding the happy medium sometimes, but that's
And
the
land
goal.
591 Heavy. We got a little problem here. I obliterated your flight plan. Is there any way you can refile it?
Man, oh man, the wind is absolutely throwing this plane around, and this is a heavy 4-engined aircraft. This is not a 172
591 Heavy,
Skyhawk.
unreadable. Is there any way you can file your flight plan again for me, please?
All right, let's get it lined up here.
Yeah, it's just, did you get it?
We'll set right there.
Okay,
We're going to
sorry
put
about that.
flaps to
Thank
15. Let's just real quickly make sure we run through the rest of the checklist here.
Delta 85 Heavy, all radio with new route. Am I going east or west?
All right, flaps set, controls are checked, trim is set, altitude set, heading. We're going to be,
And
I
Delta
don't
85 Heavy, the
know what the
first
heading's
control
gonna be,
keep
but
it,
we're gonna-
going east, and so you can expect runway 8 right.
we're going to start with 090 and just try to maintain runway heading.
Any chance we can get 9
We do
or
have
shorter?
the first VOR set.
Actually shorter to taxi to 8 right from where you're at.
All right, transponder is on.
That's right, 8 right, Delta 85 Heavy. We're ready for taxi.
I think we're ready.
Hey, Delta 85 Heavy, you're only 8 right, taxi via Papa, altimeter 301.
Put those pitot 2 probe heaters
8
on.
right via Papa, Delta
We
85 Heavy.
will, we've got the windshield warm up on.
Delta 683, contact departure.
Captain's pitot heat is on. We have our automatic starters armed. Continuous ignition is on. Ignition override is on.
Delta 683, contact departure.
Okay. Max EPR is set. Our climb speed, I should say, 186.
American 1481, continue taxi via Victor, Papa.
That's our
Whiskey.
max takeoff
Properly
speed, I
180.
should say, our toga. And then our climb speed is actually 158. V1 is 109. That's set there. V rotate 126. V2 143, and the 0 flap speed is 205. Okay, well, nothing to do but get to the getting right now. Thanks for joining us, and buckle up. As always, Squawk 7500. Yeah, little thunder, man. It's, I tell you what, the next 5 to 10 minutes could be the most entertaining 5 to 10 minutes of the entire flight. I'm just telling you. Landing lights can come on. I forgot about those. Okay. The retracts, I need to put those on too. Okay.
Miami Tower, good evening.
She's ready to fly.
And Delta 85 Heavy, give way to the American 737 entering taxiway.
So they're going to try to space us out a little bit here. That's the delay.
Keep it here, American
And
Delta 85
I'm
Heavy.
fine with that. Surface winds right now aren't crazy. 050 at 7, so you know, a little bit of a crosswind, but only 7 knots. That's not too bad. I don't see anything listed about gusting conditions just yet, but I'd be surprised if that's not the case. As we climb out, though, I tell you what, really, it looks, I mean, these wind speeds look very doable, clear all the way up, honestly, to our top of climb. I mean, I think we could live with that. So, you know, I do know it's a thunderstorm, but it's a pretty slow moving booger by what I'm seeing here on active sky. Take a look at our map view here. You can see we have just kind of several lines to climb through, and once we get up and we should be up and over the top of most of the worst
Aircraft
stuff.
calling with radio check. Didn't catch your call, but you are.
So let's see here.
Iron American 3.
Everything else I think is ready to rock and roll.
American 3, Miami Tower.
So let's do
Request
this.
on
We want to do a distance and time to that, and I want to also set the wind. Not give me a wind reading right now. That's a little bit strange. Maybe it'll give me something once we get going.
Air Tower American 1091, Squawko 2270, Mission Whiskey, Shore November, ready to taxi.
All right, the first waypoint we're aiming for is
American 842,
Nassau,
141,
and
American.
once we get airborne here, it's going to be about a 111
1091 heavy runway
outbound,
right, taxi via
radio.
November 9 Mike.
but it's a fairly long leg. I mean, it's 161 nautical miles, so we have time. And I think, again, the main thing for us on this departure is just to establish
November 9 Mike for American 1091.
controlled climb, safe climb, and get ourselves up and out here. Just checking the altimeter one more time. 3016. Let's just make sure that's up to date. Yep, that looks good. Okay. Well, predictions, Wolfpack.
Fine air.
Here we go, baby.
726 heavy. The wind 050 at 7. Flighting 120, runway 8 go.
Fly heading 120, clear for takeoff 8 right, fine air 726 heavy. Thanks for all your help, by the way.
Thank you for being patient. Sorry about the trouble.
Okay, folks, here we go. Spool ourselves up.
Good evening, Miami Tower. Talk 311 with you at
Find 186.
requesting IFR to San Salvador.
Try to maintain that center line if able. We are a cargo plane, but we're not
And
super heavy.
Miami Tower. Good
So
evening.
that's
Turn
part of why
forward.
we're getting moved around a little bit here. All right, takeoff thrust is set. There's V1. There's rotate. Positive rate.
Delta 85 heavy, runway 8 right, line up.
Gears coming up. Flaps to 0.
Fine air 726 heavy, contact.
Over to departure, fine air 726. Alright. Not going to do that right this second. I am actually turning a little bit. I don't want that.
American 8141, requesting contact.
Alright. We'll try to maintain about a 3,000 foot per minute climb rate, and the weather is kind of bouncing me around here a little bit.
American 81 to 40, right.
Yep, and I'm over speeding. Down there, and now my nose is down. Yep, so that's the danger, guys, and that's what I'm still trying to work on. Alright, we'll get the climb going again. We'll get the speed back down, and hopefully we won't overcorrect. But I tell you what, the wind is tossing us around. Something fierce. So departure is actually Miami Center, and I'm going to go ahead. We're going to throw this autopilot on here. We're going to turn the heading on. We've got plenty of airspeed here, so it gives me a chance to switch over to 3570. Maybe, if I can get this. Alright. 13517, sorry, 13517. Probably already through my altitude that I was assigned. Yes, I am. Oh, shoot. Alright, here's what I've got to do here. I've got to get this thing stabilized first. Alright, we're gonna come off the autopilot. We're gonna get checked in. Miami Center, Fine Air 726, climbing 11,000.
Pioneer 7265 Center, climb and maintain flight level 390.
Climb and maintain 390, Fine Air 726. Well, looks like I need more practice there, boys and girls. Had nose up, nose down. I had overspeed. Went through my departure assigned altitude. So that's too bad. That's a bummer, but we'll get this set here. We're a little more stable right now. And alright, let's put this guy back on here. Heading is selected, and we're going to go ahead now and adjust our vertical speed. We're way below actually our thrust for climb, which is 158. Let me double check that. What do we have here? 158. So let me adjust this real fast, give ourselves a visual here. 158 is our continuous climb power setting. We don't want to go below that. We want to climb at 300 knots, and so that looks pretty good, and then we want to maintain that. So I've already failed with the first part of what I've been working on, which is a stable departure. All of our cargo has been tossed all over the place, and all the fine china has been broken. But here's part two of what we're trying to accomplish, and that is keep this airspeed up. And I don't necessarily want to be above 300 feet per minute in my climb, or sorry, 300 knots in my climb, but I definitely don't want to go very far below it either. So initially, like I mentioned, according to the FHO, you can climb out between 2,000 to 4,000 feet per minute easily. So I'm kind of trying to find about 3,000 feet per minute here, see what that does to my speed, and then we'll go from there. Got to take a look outside, don't we? Man, oh man, it's coming down, boys. Now there's where we were, and yeah, I think the wind kind of lied to us a little bit there. It was a lot more difficult to control than the wind information was saying anyway. Well, all right, we are airborne. We didn't put it down in the Atlantic Ocean, so that's a win. So far, our speed is maintaining very well. We are climbing right about 3,000 feet per minute. We'll be coming up on the transition altitude here soon. Now, we did pass 10,000, so I can turn off my landing lights and my retracts. And I can also turn off the auto ignition and the engine override switches. Should probably take a peek at that engineer's console here in just a minute as well. But okay, so now our speed right at 3,000. Of course, the higher you get, the harder it is to keep that speed up, so we will just slowly adjust our vertical speed, maybe bring it back down to about 2,000 feet per minute here.
33, hand off the Oceanic, about 42 more miles.
Oh boy.
Roger, no problem.
Now, I don't think I have to use oceanic procedure here because, I shouldn't say that. I should have brushed up. Should have brushed up on my oceanic a little bit. So, Wolfpack, this is the Aerosoft DC-8. This is, and this airline is actually the only airline I could find in my, well, I take that back. They do fly some 737s down here, but this is a cargo route that used to be flown from Miami down to San Juan, fine air. And so I just thought, hey, perfect opportunity to hop in and fly this old 4-engine beast. And I better make my
Miami Center, Delta 85 Heavy level at 5,000.
Delta 85 Heavy, Miami Center, climbing maintain flight level 410.
40 Heavy, we're going to need a left two.
Delta 85, deviation up to 20 degrees approved.
I think we're just about over the top of it here, which is nice.
Left deviation up to 20 and 05 for Delta 85 Heavy.
Center Fine Air 726. I'm sorry if we missed this call. Are we cleared direct Nassau on course? I hope we are.
Fine Air 726, yes sir. You're cleared direct Zulu, Quebec, Alpha, direct Nassau.
Thank you, sir. Okay, well, let's do that then. We are using the radio for now, and then we will see if we have the INS here later on. Set the altimeter to standard, and we'll flip this over to localizer VOR navigation, and we'll start heading towards Nassau. Boy, it's really turning, and I don't know why, and it's making me a little nervous as to why it's turning that far. Okay, let's go back to heading select, and let's see what's going on. 112.7, yep, that's what we're supposed to have in. And I tuned it direct to, so it shouldn't be trying to get on some crazy radial here, but well, boy, it was really wanting to go to the left. So we'll just kind of stay on heading mode. We'll see how this needle drifts, and maybe we'll even check the INS here. Now, the INS is actually spun around the other way, isn't it?
Dragon 1613, same Mach number.
Ooh, 1613.
Up 603, same Mach number. 683, same Mach number.
Plane
That does not appear to be active just yet.
For 683.
Alright, so we'll stay with the radio option here. As I understand it, the INS navigation option is better at higher altitude. Speaking of which,
85.
we are starting to lose our airspeed a little bit, so I'm going to decrease our climb rate here. We are up above 250, so I'll bring that climb rate down to about 500 feet per minute. See if we can get this back up closer to 300. We do have a max thrust if we need it at 186. Let's just see what happens here to our speed, though, just by coming back down to 500. Once we get to Nassau, we are going to be heading a little further to the south. So we're kind of in this area, I think, right here. We'll be heading outbound 129er, and then we have quite a long leg, 346 nautical miles down to the Providenciales VOR. Oh, there's an NDB down there also. We'll set both, and we'll just make sure that we're tracking the right way. But that'll be the longest leg that we have.
First American 1091, you got a 4.7.
All right, speed's coming back up very nicely. We're just at 500 feet per minute. We can be patient. I know we're going clear up to 390, so you know, it's going to take a little while. Had I done a little better job of keeping my speed up, you know, we would have been able to keep this obviously a little steeper, and we would have made it up to our cruise altitude a little quicker, but that's okay. All right, here's what we're looking at, by the way, on the Vatastic map. There we are. It looks like we might be heading over to Oceanic here in just a little bit. But we're here. We got lots of space, which is a good thing. We do not have automatic holding procedures in this aircraft, so it's nice to have some space. And yeah, we'll see. Pretty good line of traffic coming in, coming out. Let's see what this is looking at. Already 62 arrivals set up here at Luis Munoz Marine International, San Juan, Puerto Rico. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. Looks like we have pretty good coverage, really all the way, yeah, up Boston area. Hey, New York, what's up, man? Get online. We'll have the whole East Coast covered here. Alright, let's get to, I'm liking our speed. Let's get to the climb checklist. We've got our speeds 300. We are on radio. INS just not quite wanting to come around just yet. That's okay. And do we need ice and windshield ice protection? Well, temperature wise we're getting close, but we've kind of climbed above the moisture level, so I'm not going to put any. In fact, I'm going to take the pitot heat. I'm going to turn the pitot 2 probe off. I'll keep the captain's pitot on, but everything else I think will be just fine.
Delta 3389, you with Miami Center.
Let's see. And that's it for the after takeoff checklist.
Delta 3389, I have a revised clearance advice ready to copy.
Through 280, we're going to go ahead and see if we can maybe just squeeze a little more climb out of her.
All right, Delta 3389, you're cleared to the San Juan International Airport via vectors from present position direct skip.
Okay, Wolfpack, take her easy, man. We'll be here. How's everybody else doing? Hope you've had a fantastic day. It's been a good day here at the household. Everybody's doing better. It's been one long week, I can tell you that. But yeah, we're closing on a high note, and happy to be here, happy to be flying around. Happy if you tune in and join us. Let's take a look outside of the sights and sounds.
Runway 28 right, ready to go.
On after the nose bay, and 1706 runway 28 right here for that.
Just take off right now.
Dragon 8141, radar contact, I'm going to maintain level 370.
370 is only this one's closer.
Delta 1380 for level 370.
Alright, can't get too carried away there. I have to monitor my speed, and as you can see, it's slipping a little bit. So we had clicked her down a couple hundred. We're going to push it back to 500 feet per minute. We actually are a little bit above our continuous climb power rating, but again, well below the 186 that we're allowed. If we need to, we can tap into that if that doesn't start coming back up for us. And we're doing pretty good. We're above 30,000.
112, we're still here waiting for clearance.
Actually, I think I will bump up the power just a little bit here.
It was asked in 814.
Of course, as the air gets cooler, you can increase that power just a little bit. That cruise power will increase.
Right up to cruise, level 350 right at 23.
Spirit Wings 260 cleared to Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson International Airport.
Case in point, right now we're looking at about 10 below. If we were at cruise right now, we would be allowed for a max cruise of 174. But if that temperature drops, let's say it goes to 20 below, we're allowed a max cruise of 181. So, you know, all about managing those engine temperatures That's been something really, really fun as far as this, this aircraft goes. Just trying to figure it out,
Spirit Wings aircraft call for clearance. What's your
making
call
sure that everything is hunky-dory, as they say. Let's go back. Speaking of hunky-dory, let's go back over here. Let's make sure everything is rocking and rolling. Okay, Freon's on. Our compressors are on.
What's the call sign?
Those look good. I'm still working on mastering the finer points of the fuel system here, and once we get to cruise, there's some
So you're calling for Silver Wings, what would you?
adjustments we need to make. And actually, our climb out, I should have had.
Silver Wings 112.
That should have been on boost and feed. That should have been on. Yep.
International Airport via vectors.
Those should all been there.
Direct Zulu Victor.
And what else did I?
Maintain 3,000. Expect 11,000. 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 135.17. Squawk 46.
Actually, I think that's okay.
41.
Okay, we'll come back to that once we get to cruise. All right, speed's hanging in there. I think it might even be creeping back up close to 3,000. Coming up on 3,002. Sorry, 32,000. So 7,000 to go till the top of climb.
Silver Wings 112, read back correct, push and start at pilot discretion. Eyes ready to see. Expect departure runway 10 left.
Push start approved, we'll call you in the alley 10 left.
We'd like a Mach of pretty close to 0.8. By the time it's all said and done, we don't want to catch anybody, but at the same token, we don't want to be slowing people down. So that's also part of the importance to keep that speed up.
310, Cam 8191.
Miami Center, Delta 2526.
We do have a 777 behind us, and they are flying, of course, a little different route than we are.
2526, Miami Center, welcome aboard.
I think our route is just a bit longer than what they have, so we want to make sure that we're keeping our speed up. Seems like we're falling just a little behind here. Once we get up to cruise, though, airspeed's not an issue. We're going to bump that down. I don't want to push it any further. We're already kind of up there at max cruise power right now. Our temps look good, though. There. And everything over here is looking good. Those RPMs are getting close to red line. I just don't want to go any further. Manifold air temp, yeah, everything's looking good as far as that goes. Oh, I could put the gen parallel on. Yep, that looks good. Supposed to, depending on the route, I'm supposed to actually only have one of those bypass pumps on. I always forget to do that, though. Can't turn the galley power back on. We need some drink service, right? Need our tiny pretzels. Alright, I may have blown by, not paying attention here, I may have blown by. Yes, I think I have. We're counting out now, so I need to put in my next waypoint. I said we were supposed to go at a 129 outbound. So let me adjust that a little bit here. 129er outbound, which we're actually getting pretty close to on accident. But Providencialis 115 decimal 60.
Bravo India Tango Alpha Charlie, but it's not coming up at the FMC. It's dropped out, so is the Y290.
And that's not showing up just yet, so
We're having the same problem.
we will go back to
Delta
11270,
85, contact with Miami Ocean 132.3.
and we'll track the outbound as long as we can.
Miami Center, Sterling 38, checking in, level left 140, headed 090.
Just had a private message.
68, Miami Center,
Oh.
time to maintain flight level 330.
3230 is where I'm supposed to go. Did I miss a call? Must have.
We're trying to figure out what Route 6 is joined to join the Vino 3 with the 2-6 transitions. What do you want to do at the Vino?
Okay, after Vino, you take Route 6, Route Airway there, so from Vino, Airway Route 6 to Sierra to the uniform, or in other words, direct the airport.
I must have missed a call there. My apologies. Miami Center, Fine Air 526, climbing 3,000, flight level 340.
Air 526, hello, radar contact 340, climb and maintain level 390.
Up to 390, Fine Air 726 Heavy. I forget to throw the heavy on there because I'm not used to saying that.
Please, American 670 miles.
Alright, so let's get on the outbound here.
670.
And with a, with the leg of 346, this would be where it'd be really nice if the INS was working. And yeah, possibly it is, or it might just be set opposite of that. Hard telling. So the INS, like I was mentioning before it kind of got cut off, the INS, as I understand it correctly, is designed to track the VORs at a higher level. I don't know if it's a different frequency or a different type of tuner that it's using, but that's supposedly the claim to fame of the INS. Now, similar to some VORs, I'm learning, some of the VORs don't broadcast where the INS can receive the signal. So it's interesting to see. It's like right now we're going to go ahead, we're going to flip it over, and we're going to see if it tracks it. It's going to make a little adjustment to the right here, which is not that's not unexpected. Okay, and then it should be coming back to the left, and that would be fantastic if that was what it was doing. Now we're still tracking the outbound, by the way, from NASA. We're not tracking in Providenciales just yet, but I would assume that we would be picking up Providenciales much earlier than on using the INS as opposed to the radio option. Again, that's just my preliminary understanding of the system through just a couple of weeks of study here. So don't take that as Bible. But that's good to see that the INS is up and running. Alright, by the way, we do have some weather and distance information. So yeah, we're tracking 302. We are getting a DME at least down to Providenciales, and about 40 minutes is what it's saying. We're seeing a wind of saying 0.65, 65 at 18. So a little bit off our left, not really a major headwind. I was kind of hoping to get a little bit of a tailwind, but not in this case. Speed's dropping. We are slowly creeping. Slowly. Again, you know what? If we have to, I'm not in a big hurry. We can lower that. You know, I think we're about 400 feet a minute. We'll go down to about 300 feet a minute. We've got to keep that up. If we get below 250, it's really difficult to get the airspeed back up without dropping the nose. And so even if we have to level off here for a little bit, you know, I'd be okay with that. So I'll bump it down a little bit more. We'll see if we can get that airspeed back up. Our Mach speed is staying pretty consistent, which I'm happy with, because that's going to keep us kind of in the proper order. We don't want to be that guy. There we are. We've got 777 chasing us. We're chasing a 737-800.
Delta 223, unfortunately,
want to stay right in here.
You're going to have to expect a reroute here to San Juan. It should not be big of a change, but stand by. I'll get your reroute here shortly.
Okay, roger that. We're ready to copy.
So we'll take this thing out. I don't know how far out. We'll take it out as far as I guess it'll track, because at least we know we're on the outbound, which is good. There are cases. It's interesting studying about this. In fact, there's a tutorial flight that comes with the airplane where they talk about where they're in between VORs, and at one point it's like, okay, you're going to lose the outbound VOR and you're not going to be able to pick up the inbound VOR for a little while. So hold your nerve, maintain your course, and just trust your instruments, trust your heading, trust what you see around you. So I mean, it's obvious that to me that there are just times when you fly your current heading, you use a little bit of wind drift calculation measurement to try to stay as close as you can as far as being on course, and then once you get close enough to pick up the next VOR or NDB, then you make adjustments accordingly. So speaking of Providenciales NDB, as we'll show you, this is a 387. So 115.60 for the VOR and 387 for the NDB. So we'll go ahead, we'll put that in here. 387. Okay.
Wi-Fi 1 heavy.
Go ahead, dude.
Rock that 1 heavy, man.
And
Yes, sir. Rockman 1 heavy. Go ahead.
I'm trying to think. I may have to turn this on
You
to.
guys can climb up to the flight level 370.
Absolutely.
We'll see if that comes alive here
Awesome. Climbing up to level 370.
at some point. Speed is dipping a little bit, but the Mach is staying tight, so I'm okay. We're up above 3,000, 36,000. I'm having trouble with that tonight. And so we're getting closer.
Flight 73, traffic information.
Time for another look around, I think. Enjoy the sights and sounds.
8.5 miles opposite down level 350.
Oh my goodness. That is beautiful.
Papa has any traffic information. Passing from right to left is BRJ 700 level 360 South Factor. American 397 mining.
Go ahead for American.
All right, we're just about 90 miles away
American
from
397,
NASA.
radar service terminated. Contact
Nassau.
135.7. Good day.
And still tracking
Thanks for
the outbound.
Have a good night. American 397.
Southwest 7569.
For Southwest 156.
Southwest 756, unit unit, started immediate speed reduction to Mach 76, please, for traffic.
Well, hopefully that won't
Appreciate it.
be something we have to deal with or cause. Again, our speed is
If you're
a
ready,
little below where we'd like it to be, but not terrible, because again our Mach is staying close to where we want it to be.
Information is an Airbus A319 level 370.
Let's just see here. What's SimBrief say? What did we? I think we are calculated out at Mach 0.8. I think that's what our fuel calculation is set for. See if I can find that information. I know it's here somewhere in my OFP.
756. Traffic is heading that direction.
That's probably a better look at the route, actually. That's a very clean look at the route there.
Make it Mach 75, please.
Let's see if we can find what the speed is supposed to be.
Monitor him on the TCAT, and if you can, maintain visual separation.
American 397, flight level 370, smooth.
I know it's here somewhere. Yeah, 0.80. Once we get up, that's what we're looking to try to achieve, and then
Southwest 756, radar service terminated. Contact San Juan Center 135.7. Thanks for your help, sir. Appreciate it.
as we start our descent here, slow back down a little bit. So yeah, 0.80. So we're, like I say, we're pretty close. I mean, we're hanging right in there. We're a little slow, but we've got plenty of room behind us. If we can get to 150, that's just about halfway. 160, I think, is about halfway, isn't it? Well, maybe not quite. 170. It's about 350 nautical miles. So 175 would be the halfway point. And with any luck, we could pick up the Providenciales VOR or NDB. We've got that tuned in also, just in case. There's 370. Just creeping.
Center is out to 3389. We do.
Also 3389, Miami is landing. Along with our contact 350.
You'd have thought I'd learned my lesson by now. That maybe 370 is the highest we need to go. But SimBrief said 390, so that's what we shot for.
Aircraft calling taken.
The Gulf taking the Juliet Oscar is back.
We are projected to be top of climb before Providenciales, by the way, and so you know, no pressure, but we got to get there here before we get the 250 miles or so, which yeah, shouldn't be a problem. All right, so while we're continuing the climb, I did some research a little bit on Fine Air because I had never heard about them, honestly. I just kind of got lucky as I was looking at the aircraft liveries I had for this particular plane and the route that we happened to fly. But Apparently this was an international cargo airline that operated from 1989 to 2002. It was then renamed Aero Air following its bankruptcy and acquisition. It operated this DC-8 and the Lockheed L-1011, and the destinations included Central America, South America, and the Caribbean from Miami International. Now, do I know that it flew to San Juan exactly? Well, no, I don't. As I'm looking at it, what does it say? Yes, it does say. Haha, I don't know why I'm just reading this. Why can't I show you? I'm just going off of Wikipedia. Here's destinations. And sure enough, as we drop down here to Puerto Rico, we see San Juan. So, yeah, that's pretty cool.
American 6, Miami.
We are in, I believe, the DC-8-55. And so, yeah, it just worked out just right. I'm like, hey, it's meant to be. So we're going to hop in the DC-8 and we're going to rock and roll. Okay, so we're going to have to, hate to do this, but we're going to have to level off here. We may have to request 370 as our final altitude here, because we're just having a difficult time keeping our speed up. This is now dropping. I'm going to request that with center here. There's not a huge difference. I mean, I don't know if it's going to make that big of a difference in terms of fuel burn or what exactly, but it'll actually help our fuel burn, because right now we're burning max. Our max cruise, by the way, let's see, we are about not quite 30 below. I'll say I'm going to estimate us at about a 1.86 for a maximum cruise.
Miami, take Sun Country 78 X-ray, there's traffic heading right for us, sir.
Uh-oh. So I'm gonna make an executive call, because I don't think he's gonna have a problem with it. We're gonna start our descent back to 370. And that'll allow us to pull back on the power slightly, be a little bit more efficient.
Traffic 20 miles in front and straight for us. Okay, so 57 extra counting information. He's at Boeing 757, level 360. He's no factor, and we're heading the other traffic ahead of you is an Airbus. Actually, it's a Boeing 738. 900 miles to 11 o'clock. He's climbing it up to 380 here shortly. Copy. You better check that westbound traffic. It's going same flight with 370, sir. Yeah, I'm doing that right now, thank you. A break American 670, Miami. And 670, we just had a accidental slew problem. We're out of the condo line. We'll go wherever you need to get back in there.
Oh, that's a bummer.
670, yeah, you're going northbound there. It's interfering with secondary aircraft here. This is a turn right heading 130. Right heading 130, we're still in.
My name is
Alright, well, that's getting our speed back to where we need to be. It's making our engines a lot happier.
Break American 670.
Those all look much better. I bet this stuff over here is going to look a lot better. Yep, much better. Yeah, that's looking good. Fuel burn is going to be a lot better. We'll get
Alright, we did have to make a little bit of adjustment there, but other aircraft needs to check his altimeter or something, because he's showing same flight level at 370.
Yeah, he's going to San Juan as well. He's a little problem there with the FMC there. He's heading southeastbound now.
Okay, because he was, that traffic looked like he was heading at us, not in our same direction, so we just want to make sure 78 X-ray.
I got it there. No, thank you. Appreciate it there, Captain. And if I grab you 78 X-ray, what's your current Mach number there? I'm going to separate you a little there with the company traffic.
You speed restricted to 0.78, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to 78 X-ray. Let's bring it down to Mach 77, please, for now.
Mach 77, Sun Country 78 X-ray.
Marking 9245. Traffic in Airbus A321, level 35.
So we'll level off here, 370. And if we have a chance to break in here, we will
Roger, appreciate
make sure
it.
that's okay with center.
Sun Country 783, Mike.
Go ahead, Secretary 783, sorry.
All right, there we go.
Sun Country 783, is there any possibility you guys can descend to 350 for traffic?
Yeah, we can do it. Do you want us to?
3 out, that'll be great. Does that maintain level 350?
Getting a little messy.
And also let me know what your Mach number is.
Alright,
Getting a little bit messy down here, isn't it?
And we're Mach 0.79, Secretary 783.
We're up here. We got a ways to go yet.
P3,
Starting to get a little bit
fun
fun down here. 61 arrivals. That's down from 63 that we saw just a little bit ago.
Level 370, maintain Mach 80, Secretary 783.
783, that's level 350 and Mach 80, please.
I'm sorry, level 350, and we'll maintain Mach 0.80, Secretary 783.
Appreciate it.
So as you go to write it down for American 1091.
American 1091. What's your current position, sorry? Oh, never mind. American 1091, I got you on screen now, level 370. Proceed on course, sir.
And I want Roger.
Center Fine Air 726.
American.
He must have had to take himself a little break, which I don't blame him.
Downtown 1027, Mike. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Downtown 1027. What's your current Mach number? Mach 0.8. Downtown 1027, Roger. Guys, you guys can speed that up to Mach 81. Yeah, A1 will probably work. It's about as high as we got them. Okay, Downtown 1027, increment that to Mach 7.1. Thank you.
And Miami Oceanic, Delta 157, give us a quick one.
Delta 157, go ahead.
We would like to leave the computer for about 10 to 15 minutes. Please stop us.
Delta 157. Sure, you know you guys are back in the cockpit.
Rich, sir, we'll report back in the cockpit for Delta 1.
Center, Fine Air 726. Yes, sir. I don't think we're going to make it to 390. Are we okay to level off at 370?
Fine Air 726. You guys want to level off at 350, is that?
I could do 350 also. We're currently at 370, whichever works best for you.
Fine Air 726, yeah, 370, that works out.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so we have lost our DME here, but it appears that we still have the VOR. However, let's give it a spin and see if Providencialis is
At 135.7.
coming in or not.
Spirit Wing 801 timing.
Oh, I just, let's see, 1560. Alright, let's see what happens here.
Spirit Wing 801, roger.
Yeah, that's okay, cool.
Oh, and contact San Juan,
That looks like it's working. So let's flip it over. See if it makes any kind of adjustment here. Pretty well on track, I think.
Yeah. Miami Ocean, Delta 2526, flight level 356.
3526, Delta, air contact 35 Buffalo.
Oceanic American 600.
Alright, so let's just go through really quickly. Have not done our cruise checklist just yet, so alright, our cruise speed is set. We'd like to maintain Mach 0.80, which we are. We have a max cruise right now currently. I'm saying we're about negative 25, so we are a max cruise of 186, which I think is what we have set. Yep. So if we need it, we can go a little more, but right now we're looking really good on speed. Okay, don't need ice protection. Windshield heat, we will leave as windshield heat will leave as warm up. We will leave the captain's pitot on.
I'm just trying to make a mess for my stuff and get out
we're up
of
to
the
cruise. We can turn the seatbelt sign off. Back in the day, you'd turn no smoking off. We, though, Fine Air, the Melvin Leroy Aircraft Company is a non-smoking aircraft company, though, so we'll leave that on. Alright, now over to our fuel. So, let's see here. All of our tank selectors are on main, which is good. Now our tank valves can be closed now that we're at cruise. By the way, just checking to make sure there's nothing crazy going on here. Nope, everything looks pretty balanced. Okay, so we need the, let's see, tank boost is, so you're going to be off, and alright, that should be it for now. No, I'm looking at the descent. Sorry guys. So tank selectors all on main. We need boost and feed. So we actually were We were right the first time. Boost and feeds are on. Fill is on. Okay, that's what we have. Fill. Cross feed levers are normal, which is up here, off, basically.
783.
Yep.
Contact San Juan 135.7.
And then the number 2 and number 3 boost and feed fill valves should be open. Okay, so 2 and 3 fill valves open.
Has been speeded up to Mach 7.
Now,
Make it Mach 7.8 and contact 135.7.
when these drop below 7,000, basically, then I need to open the fill valves for these
And thanks for your help.
as well.
And Oceanic American 69. Looks like we're going to have competing traffic.
Actually, I think those are supposed to be off. Oh, mains are on.
670.
Cross feed.
Fly heading 130 for now. We can get fit you in there.
Normal.
Perfect.
Sorry, yep. So we were okay. We're okay. Alright.
130 on the heading, man.
Good to go. That's still another area that I'm a little nervous about.
American 670.
Just because I've had a couple of flights where I've had some, well, I had one flight, like the second flight I did, flying into Chicago, that I actually had to land the plane on 2 engines because I ran the number 1 and 4, the outside 2 engines, I ran them out of gas.
170.
So that, needless to say, was not good. Yeah, pitching up and down a little bit here. I wonder if we're hitting just a little bit of turbulence or something.
You guys have a climb up to 3802?
Showing conditions here,
Appreciate that, American 670.
65, direction 6065 at 10. What's my, yeah, it's showing a little bit more out of the east. Active Sky is showing me information at flight level 340. We're a little ahead of that, or a little above that, so not surprising that that's a little different. And about 89, yep, about 89 miles away. Here in the next 11 minutes, we will be making our next adjustment. Let me show you. Yeah, actually, that's, I still think I like the Sky Vector view a little bit better. So we're just about here to Providenciales, and then this is a fairly short jaunt over to Grand Turk 114.20, and yeah, just 66 nautical miles. We'll be heading out of Providenciales out on 117 heading, and then it's going to start to get interesting because nope, we have one more. We'll go to once we get past
let's see, we're about 6 miles off the Grand Bahamas here on the finals.
El Katy.
We're looking at 6.
Yeah, once we get past El Katy, we'll hit our top of descent. So somewhere along this leg here, probably near Punta Cana, which ironically I think is one of the airports featured in tomorrow's VATSIM event. There's just some more action down here. It'd be kind of fun. Not sure if we're going to be able to make it or not, but they'll be down here flying again. But yeah, we've got, you know, some things coming up here in the next 10 minutes or so. So it should be fun, hang out, and enjoy the rest of the flight.
If you can, speed up to Mach 79er, please.
Mach 79er.
American 670, thanks for your help tonight, sir, and contact San Juan 135.7.
135.7, thanks for your understanding, and sorry for shanning.
No problem, sir. Take care.
Okay, I'm picking up the, must be the NDB I'm picking up. Yeah.
Aircraft on.
So let's see here.
Hotel 1380, level 370.
American 1380. Where you guys at, Mark?
Delta 1380, and I'm just east of 5.
I don't know what I just did there, but I thought I was resetting it. Alright, I don't want to listen to that.
Delta 1380, also, can you guys step it up to 39ers truck?
Yeah.
What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Turn that off.
1380, awesome, climb and maintain level 390.
I'm at 390.
66 miles.
245, roger.
Everything is looking pretty good so far.
American H1, which one will be stepping down 14.
Aircraft call sign.
American H1, 41.
American 8140 from, what do you need, sir?
I'm going to be stepping down 14 or 18.
Right.
Uh-oh, Hockey Highlights is wondering if I've disconnected from BatSim. No, I haven't. Have I disappeared on the Batastic map? I don't know. Let me check. See if I can find myself amongst all this mess. Where am I? I'm right. Oh yeah, there I am. I'm still there. I'm still ticking. Okay, cool. Thanks for checking in, by the way. Hockey Highlights. I'm assuming you're in this Congo line somewhere. Hope your Friday night's going fantastic. I hope I didn't just miss a call there.
223 Miami.
Sometimes I get outside the cockpit looking around. I can't hear the ATC very well. Oh, all right. Delta 85. Yeah, nice. I think you're right behind me. Well, actually, just yeah, just a little. You're on the RNAV route, and I can't do RNAV, so I'm on the VOR to VOR route. So that's they'll have to sort us out a little bit here, but we've been trying to keep our speed up to stay out of your way.
Yeah, go ahead.
Should be interesting heading into San Juan here. They looks like things are settling down actually a little bit. They're down to now 58 arrivals. When we checked a while ago, we were up to 63. So, but the thing about that airport is I think you're fairly limited in approach options.
Thank you, sir. And Rockman, here I called in my controlled airspace. Contact San Juan 135.7. Take care. See you.
57 Rockman 1.
I'm seeing a couple. They do have two runways that they can utilize, though. I guess if they need to. One of them would be a little short for us. We could do it. With my skill level, it would be tricky. It's runway 10 and 28 is 8,000 feet, which is within our limits. I think we need 6,500 or something like that. I'd have to look. This will be the one we're hoping for, though. 8 and 26. That gives us a little bit more wiggle room, which is always appreciated. Well, thanks Hockey Highlights. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm still learning it, and you know, it's teaching me a lot of lessons, and many of them the hard way. But I felt good enough to try it in an FNO and with some weather out of Miami, and you know, it's just been a lot of fun. I like the old school aircraft.
Log 204 has a manual panic.
All right, well, here we are. Let's see, 32 miles away. We need to kind of start thinking a little bit about, again, what we're doing here after Providenciales, and just double checking. Again, we'll be heading, that's a short leg over to Grand Turk, which is 114.20. We'll be ready for that here in just a bit.
Center Delta 33.
And it's an outbound leg, outbound radial of, what did I say, 117. So we'll get ready to have all that stuff entered in here in just a little bit. Yeah, I appreciate you checking in, Hockey, and if I don't talk to you, because I know things are going to get busy for both of us here in a little bit, happy landings. I will, in fact, I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to jump over and check out your stream and add you here as a friend, and make sure I'm following you. Yep, there, I got you followed now, and I don't know if you're streaming tonight, but I'll be happy to tune in and check out some of your flights too. Kind of like doing that. It's a fun way to learn, and it's kind of relaxing at the end of the day to just tune in and watch somebody else's flight. I don't know, maybe I'm weird that way, but I enjoy that.
And my email is also
So he is over here somewhere, probably overtaking us in that big 777 of his. But like I said, we'll let ATC figure all that out. Do really like the night lighting in this bird here. You can turn the reds up. I was screwing around here. Let's get the heading set. It was going to circle that VOR. All right, let me tell you about the night lighting here as soon as I get squared away. So Grand Turk 114.20. That, my friends, is not how to execute a successful VOR to VOR transition. And then again, a 117 is the intended outbound leg, and I've just made a mess out of that. Wait a second, what's going on here? 117. That's where we'd like to be, and we're a little south of course, as you might expect, because of me just not paying attention, looking at the pretty lights, and I've got the attention span of a 6th grader, I swear. Okay, well, we'll see if we can't pick that up here, and we'll toss it back over to the INS nav, make a couple of short-term adjustments. Hey, our NDB did come into play here, so that's cool. And I overcorrected, trying to get back on the right course there too. So yeah, win-win-win all the way around here. Actually, I'm not so sure we're doing what we need to be doing here, so I'm going to go back to heading select, and because we should not be tracking outbound here. Well, yes, we should be tracking. We're tracking outbound from Providenciales. Yeah, that's
Good.
all right. Dumb mistake on my part.
Third contact,
296 is where we should be heading. Sorry about that, folks.
Contact 13.
All right, I got to pay better attention here. 296. There's the inbound. Let's get stabilized here on this radial. I'll have the first officer go back and check the cargo tie downs again. He already had to do that once after the departure. Alright. Got the DME. Just for giggles here, let's see. We do have also 232. We could tune in if we wanted to here. 232. See if our, yeah, that's picking us up pretty well here, I think. All right, let's flip back over. Fingers crossed. Let's see if it stays on course or not. It's making a little bit of an adjustment to the left.
Delta 683.
Alright, a fairly major adjustment to the left. Did I fall that far south of course? It is possible. It's I'm not really seeing though with the VOR needle is not really indicating that. I'm wondering if we maybe have a VOR that does not transmit to the INS. And if we don't start correcting here in a minute, I'm going to come back off of that. I have found that to be the case. Yeah, I'm not seeing that's just not where we want to be going. Okay, well we'll bring it back around. Boy, now we're really screwing up traffic behind us here. So I'm getting a DME. I'm just not getting. Yeah, and I'm way off. I may just have to use the NDB here to get myself back on track. That's ugly. All right, 120 is what it's telling me. So we're going to do that. This is being misleading. Anyway, back to my point. I have found that some of the NDBs, excuse me, some of the VORs, they don't transmit, and we continue to lose Miami Center. That's not good. Well, we will trust our NDB and we'll trust our DME until this becomes active again, and hopefully we didn't screw up traffic behind us too terribly. Oh no, I think I've lost Delta 85. And we're having some issues here, I think, with the VATSIM server. Delta 85 originally thought that he had lost me, and now I'm not seeing him. Okay, we're just following, by the way. If you just tuned in and wondered why I'm flying S-turns, I was attempting to
1990, heavy, copy. 555, Ocean Center for next to you. We're going to contact 350, thank you.
Alright, so we want our main instrument lights, turn those guys, we want these turned up. I'm trying to remember which one those are. Overhead whites, yeah, that's nice to have on. I don't really need them.
54125 for 363 miles
Need to be able to look at the captain. There we go, that's what I need. I do like the control that you have. That was kind of the point I was trying to make, and as I was fiddling with that, I flew past the VOR, and in my attempts to recapture the the corresponding VOR, I've kind of have lost it. Grand Turk is supposed to be what we hit next at 114.20. I have that tuned in, but we are not tracking it. It's not active either with my INS. Alright, it is now.
Still copy 5 by 5 for
Alright, is active, and we are a little bit, as the ADF is telling us there, we're a little bit left of course. So, that's a strange thing, but I'm finding it's not uncommon that the nav radio will sometimes transmit and capture the VOR with the INS, and sometimes it will not, and vice versa. I've had some VORs that don't transmit to the radio, but they do transmit to the INS. Very strange. So we'll see if that guy comes down here. We do have 20 miles to go. Our next adjustment here, and we'll pay better attention this time. So we're coming in here to Grand Turk, and then we're going to head down a little further south, an outbound 156 down here to Katy. Alright, so we'll be ready 115.80 for that.
American 933 Miami. American 933. American 933. What's your current Mach number?
Mach for American 933.
Delta 683 Miami.
Those look good. Those are getting low.
683, what's your Mach number?
I'm going to turn the boost off on those.
Roger, thank you. American 1613, what is your Mach number?
Time to slow everybody down, I think, here. Alright, so we're back online here. I'm not going to engage the VOR right now. I'm just going to keep it on because we're getting close enough to where this is really moving a lot. What's our INS? Is it doing anything yet? No, it's not. Alright, so we'll get ready here to enter in Katy 115.80. We've got to be outbound from this particular waypoint. Providenciales will be outbound 156. So we can go ahead and we'll turn that right now. We'll kind of get headed in the right direction. Takes this plane a while to get turned. Okay. There we go. There's the ADF. Okay, let's tune in now. Katy 115.80.
American H141.
And it's time to play your favorite game. Will the VOR be broadcasting? Here we go. And that would be the answer that we don't want to have. That's an NO. Let's see if the INS is picking anything up. That is also a no. Do we happen to have... We don't have... Okay, we do not have an NDB either, so all we can do at this point is just to go back to Grand Turk 114.20. This is going to get a little tricky here, ladies and gentlemen, because we need to we need to have some sense of where we're going.
American 933, contact San Juan 135.7.
Okay, well, we'll just track the we'll just track Grand Turk outbound here's kind of our plan. Since we are not picking up Katy inbound, we know we have 152. Fine Air 726.
Pioneer 726. Are you able to fly direct to Bino from present position?
Standby 726. Direct Bino. Could you send that fix to me via text? Thank you. Read my mind. So Bino, where the heck is Bino?
Well, Mohawk 204 Heavy, contact Miami Center 135.17.
We have
American 9245.
110.
Affirmative, he is no factor, he's level 350.
And Fine Air 726 tracking direct Bino.
Pioneer 726, Roger. Fly direct to Bino and then join the Route 6 Airways, the San Juan Airport.
Okay, we'll join the Route 6 in and then San Juan Airport at Bino. Fine Air 726.
Appreciate it.
Alright, let's make sure that we have this entered in correctly though, because this doesn't quite look. So here's what I've done just to make sure. I put Bino in. We were trying to get to Katy. Katy wasn't working for us, so we're going to take Katy out. And that actually, okay, so Grand Turk, right? Is that 14.2? That's what we're tracking. Yes. So we actually, let's see, we're needing 129. I overcorrected that a little bit here. 129.
Traffic information is company 737, level 370. 11 at 12 o'clock, 30 miles.
Alright, so we're going to track that outbound, and then we have to pick up Route 6. Okay, so that's going to, we've got a little bit of time here, okay, because we've got,
6 miles.
okay, so
level 370.
I'm assuming then we will not be, so we won't be needing that waypoint anymore. Route 6, okay, so there we go. So we go Bino and then we're straight into San Juan, essentially. And so we're going to be, yeah, we're basically heading straight in now instead of taking that little jog down here, which is kind of nice because we weren't picking up wherever that was, Katy, right? We weren't picking that guy up down there, so yeah, wherever the heck it was.
Delta 683, Miami.
Yeah, anyway, you get the gist. You've been watching along the way. Alright, but the problem is we have slid just a little bit.
American 16
South, of course. Right, of course, so let's adjust. And let's make sure that we have everything
American 1613
basically set up like we need to.
7-8 or 7 miles.
Yeah, it's going to be good speed, no worries. Pistol 7-8.
Okay, American 1613, it's already to Mach 7-8.
American 16 7-8.
Yeah, that should be starting to come back in now, which is good. We still do have that ADF pointing back at Grand Turk. 232, right? That's still, yep, that's still programmed in. So, you know, that should start to swing back around here as we get a little bit more on the outbound.
6 miles, 10 to 11 o'clock, level 390.
This leg is now has become a 302 nautical mile leg, so we'll kind of keep an eyeball on that. I was checking fuel here just a minute ago. Do I have lights over here? Separate lights, I wonder? That's a great question. Seems like you would.
Gearwings 1368.
All right.
I'll call you to reroute you, so stand by and we'll get you.
Those are all looking pretty good still. You know, one thing I didn't do? I did not set.
25, 26, man.
I didn't set our pressurization.
American 1254 traffic inside, no factor.
Eesh, not good.
I appreciate it.
You always forget something. Seems like.
25, 26, man.
We're going to turn those on. I think that gives us, let me just make sure here. First officer's lights, they can come on, why not? Pedestal lights, they can come on. I could turn.
Russia Delta 25, 26, man.
Yeah, I think that'll work for now. Everything's lit up. Looks good.
I'm going to reroute you too. So stand by for a reroute.
Standing by, 25, 26.
Alright, I think we've made all of our adjustments. We've managed to keep our speed where it needs to be. Just about on that outbound leg right now. And yeah, I'm not too sure the INS is functioning though. That's just, when we get lined up, I'll go ahead and turn it on, but I'm just not thinking. In fact, no, I'm just going to stay with this, because essentially what we have, we're basically straight in to San Juan at this point. So I think what we'll do is, once we get lined back up here on the outbound, is we'll just kind of take a look at San Juan. And here's what we're looking at. So we're coming off of Grand Turk here. And it's basically a straight shot all the way in. I mean, not maybe a little bit of a turn here, but for the most part, if we lose that outbound VOR, we can just tune in San Juan 114.0.
American 9225, you should be on the 1013.
So the other thing that's going to make this tricky is every approach into San Juan, every arrival into San Juan is an RNAV arrival. And so, since we're being vectored to Bino, I'm going to pull this up because I'm just going to show you basically what it would look like if you were just flying the Bino arrival. So, which we're not, again, because it's an RNAV arrival, but we're going to be getting to Bino, and they're going to expect us to probably be at the same altitude, even though we're not flying the the arrival. So we should expect 11,000 at Bino, and then depending on, you know,
in 9 miles. And 4 o'clock.
let's see, weather at San Juan right now is 070 at 14. Scattered at 2,900. 7 statute miles of viz, so not too bad, but going to be landing east, so I would assume we'll be here. Bino kind of vectored down this area here, 6,000 at Milet, and then on into, hopefully, like I say, that runway 8.
And 16, 13.
But that gives us an idea there,
American 16.
kind of the transition. So the reason why we're going to do that is because we need to lose 26,000 feet of altitude. We don't have a top of descent calculator in this bird, so what I've always just used is the old 26,000 divided by 3. And that's roughly 86 2/3, so about 90 miles out, basically, from Bino. We need to start our descent, and that's roughly. Now, I think we'll probably get that descent from ATC well before we have to start making it, but just to kind of have that in the back of our mind. So if they would forget about us, or we would lose contact with us, or whatever, there's Bino, and again, we've got, this is a 302 nautical miles, so roughly 2/3 of the way. So where we're going, we need to be starting our descent. So just visually, you know, I don't know, you're looking at kind of right in this area here, so that would be what, kind of the gagged or the zebra, which again, those are our nav fixes. Is there a way that we can, you know, tune that in? You know, we could, if we tuned in down here, the what is this? Puna. I can't say that. If we tuned in De Las Americas International Airport, we could get a fix here on the 059 outbound. It could give us an idea of when we're about that far away. So 50 and 18 and 108. So 68, 176. When we're 176 miles away from this radial, we could calculate that as our top of descent if we need to. So just interesting things to think about. For us, though, we're kind of lucky because we have this DME counting out for us, and you know, all we have to do is just kind of keep track of that. Roughly 300 nautical miles. So here in about another 100, I would expect us to get that descent clearance, and we'll start our way down. I don't know if that made any sense at all, but that's just a couple different ways that you can ensure that you're able to descend at the appropriate time if you lose some of your more quote-unquote modern navigation. Slid a little bit left of course here in all my hemming and hawing. So let's get back on course. We also need to pay attention here because we may lose this VOR here at a certain point, and so we'll need to keep track of kind of where we're at there. And if we had to, we might even have to just use a regular old distance equals rate times time calculation to kind of get that estimated top of descent. If we had to calculate it from San Juan out. We could do it that way also. So it's approximately 40 miles to Bino, so it would be 90 miles on top of that. So, you know, about 130 miles from San Juan would be when we want to start that descent. So there's a couple different ways, I guess, that we got it surrounded, I think, basically. I'm kind of bummed. I think we lost Delta 85. I hope he didn't have a sim crash. That's always frustrating when that happens.
American 1650,
Let's take a peek here. Here we are. We're just about to San Juan airspace. And the arrival's down to 49 now, so that's okay. Don't mind it if it's going down just a little bit. Hey, our friend Rob from Slant Alpha Adventures, he's up here flying somewhere. Wonder where he's at. There he is, coming in from Princess Juliana. Sweet. He'll be in. Go ahead, Fine Air 726.
Fine Air 726, call San Juan 325.7. Let them know you guys are direct to Bino.
3570 will report direct to Bino. Thanks for the help. Fine Air 726 Heavy, we'll see you.
See it.
All right, 3570.
Delta 31.
See how busy this guy is.
He's got one on it, like 1 minute, 20.
Mike, what's going on?
We're going to do 1 minute, 1 minute, what's the matter?
Go ahead.
San Juan Center, good evening. Fine Air 726 Heavy at flight level 370. We've been cleared direct Bino.
San Juan Center for Sierra Flight 38 with you, level 10,000 direct, Colorado.
Fine Air 726 from 1 Center, good evening. May descend and maintain flight level 210.
Descend and maintain 210, Fine Air 726. All right, well, here we go, folksy folks.
5438 on 1 Center, good evening.
That takes all the guesswork right out of it. We were ready just in case, though.
And direct to Antic.
Okay, so we will go ahead and, you know, bring the power down a little bit here. We don't want to overspeed. We want a descent of, you know,
American 933, time to pull Rubino.
12 to 1,500 feet per minute.
I hold over Rubino, American 933. American 933, the 718, 16,000.
Somewhere right in there, I think, will be good for us. All right, let's go ahead, though, before we get too much further, and let's check our descent checklist. Top of descent planning, we have done that. We're going to descend and check speed restrictions here. We can be above 250 until 10,000. Otherwise, we don't have a speed restriction. Ice protection and windshield heat. No noticeable precip in the area. We'll keep the windshield heat on warm. Tank valves. Okay, I do need to come over here. Tank selectors all on main, which they are. Tank valves all need to be closed. And the boost pumps
the approach on the 119.4.
all need to come off.
Approach on 119.4, Delta 253.
Need to check my VREF. Which I'm looking at the documentation here on the performance PDF. And let's see, my weight.
I'm ready, Delta Bravo, turn.
My weight's going to be
turn now left, direct
20.
unable.
Left to 8 left to Bravo.
Where did my PDF go? My weight's going to be about 200, maybe even a little less. We will be using flaps 3.5 today, so we're going to say about 132. I'm going to go ahead and
Delta 922.
adjust that. 132, let's get those out of there. Flap speed I'll leave in. 132. There's our VREF. What else here? Yeah, when we hit 18,000, we will set our barrel. Let's pick up the weather real quickly here. We'll do that via text. We have information Foxtrot. It looks like officially we are 070 at 14, 7 statute miles. We have scattered clouds at 2,900 and 3012, landing runways 8 and 10, departing runways 8. So yeah, we're hoping for runway 8 if we can get it. 3012. We'll keep that in mind as we descend. We won't need it quite yet because we're only cleared down to 210. But we'll just have that in mind. And we can't really brief the approach because I don't know what the approach is just yet. Here's what we will do though.
Fly heading 130 and connect the approach.
Well, no, I can't. I have no way to brief anything right now.
Alright, 130 heading 19.
Right now we'll just say we're expecting runway, I say runway 8. Hoping for runway 8 is probably the better way to put it. That's the longer of the runway, 10,400.
And American 933 Vol over FNO as published.
As soon as we get clearance to that, we will we'll make it official.
You know, as part was maintaining 6,000 for the clearance at 50 past the American 933.
Alright, so I can go ahead and tune in San Juan 114.00 just so I can get an idea of how far away I am. We are... Actually, no, I probably shouldn't do that just yet because I am not yet at Bino. So I jumped the gun there just a little bit. Let me... Even though it's a pretty straight shot, we were still receiving an outbound VOR from Grand Turk 114.2. So let me go back to that. Let's just make sure we're on the right track here. We are.
American Channel 1, where are you?
Actually, we slid a little bit right of course there, so it's good that we went back and picked that up. Okay, through 270.
66 nautical miles for Pickle, heading 316.
We might,
American 1001,
excuse me,
for you, but I don't see you in my airspace.
looking at the map here, we may,
And, no,
oh no, I thought maybe we'd bump elbows with Slant Alpha, but he's actually flying out to Princess Juliana.
And bring you into the approach.
070 for 8 Delta Bravo.
November 1 Echo Mike, turn right direct to Josh.
Alright, one last look here. Here we are.
November Delta Bravo, call the approach.
And here's this good stuff. 49
49
arrivals. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of room to sneak us in here. Alright, down through 250. Speed's got a little bit high, but not unexpected. We can probably mellow that out. We actually ended up getting close to 2,000 feet per minute, which is maybe just a hair steep.
28.
Try to bring that back closer to 1,500 to 1,000 if we can.
This it's Delta 683, sir. What time can we expect to exit cold?
We just want to call you, respect to the roll over Vino, published, maintain 17,000, expect public clearance at 0255.
So they are holding. Well, that's going to be interesting.
Alright,
We're going to have to do that by hand if that's the case. Okay, so we've lost our VOR, so we're going to go ahead and tune in San Juan now.
Broadband 13 to maintain 1000.
Maybe he'll see that we are slant whiskey and have a little mercy on us.
Yeah, Broadband 13 to maintain 1000.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just try to track this guy in as best we can, understanding that it's not exactly perfectly straight shot in, but it's pretty darn close. And I'm guessing before we get to Bino, which is only in about 80 miles, I'm guessing we'll be vectored either into an approach or into a hold.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got the call. I knew I was going to get confused. Foxhand 13. Fly heading 100. You can make that right turn on. Right turn heading 100 and connect the approach 100.4 to installation. 100.4, leaving the hold. Foxhand 13, looking to your approach. Now, American 1091 with your final B70, good evening. American 1091, someone send good evening, I maintain level 200.
Closing in on 210. We're going to get down here and
Fine Air, 6, the maintain level 1, the maintain 17,000. The altimeter is 3012.
down to 17,000 and 3012. Fine Air 726 Heavy. Sweet.
American 1613, it's going to maintain 16,000. The altimeter is 3012.
We'll go ahead and put that in right now, just so we have it.
American 933,
3012. Again, information Foxtrot.
American 933, turn right heading 100.
Just out of curiosity,
I wonder
what would happen here. I guess I don't know how to switch it over to
Delta 683, the sediment contain 4000.
I don't know how to switch over to COM 2.
Delta 683.
That's not it. Huh. Well, I'll have to read up on that. That would come in handy.
San Juan Center, Delta 3389.
Alright.
3389, go ahead.
Still cruising on down. Do want to get that speed down just a little bit, so we won't
Delta 39, San Juan Center, good evening. Descend to maintain for level 200.
get any steeper than 1,000 feet per minute.
Head down 200.
In fact, I'm actually going to bring back the power just a little bit here. Takes a while to slow this thing down, takes a while to speed it up also, but
3933.
at this point in time,
I gave you a vector, correct?
too much energy is kind of our deal right now. So See if we can get that
Roger.
to come down just a little bit. Once we level out, it will, but if I can get that headed in the right direction before that, that'll be advantageous. Still just slightly left of course. That's our winds. Now we're way off with our waypoint, so it doesn't really help us at all to check that, but what's our wind telling us right now? 072 at 24. Should be pushing us kind of on course there.
933 connected.
Yeah, we'll just keep nudging it over. We're pretty close. 500.
Delta 683 to maintain 1000.
To maintain 1000.
American 1613, they're giving you the hold instructions.
Oh boy. I better be ready to write
Sorry
this
about
down.
the delay. Delta American 1613, hold over at Bino, as published.
That's going to be me.
Maintain 16,000. Expect other clearance at 0300.
I'm sure.
Only a Bino, 16,000 American.
Alright, well, I'm going to have to go get that. I might as well anticipate a little bit here.
United 769, leave my airspace, radar 37 negative, Unicorn 12.
Let's get our speed right about 250.
Notches. Southwest 2154, leave my airspace, Oceania went offline. Radar 37 negative, figure change approved.
Just kind of watching that speed a little bit here as I get my thrust set.
American 1001, leave my airspace, radar 37 negative, free to change approved. Good night.
Alright, so again, I'm not really on the Bino arrival, but I am going to take a look at that hold just in case we have to do it. It looks like it's a right-hand turn.
89 and yeah, disregard.
312, 6 nautical miles. Yeah, we're gonna have to estimate that because again, we really don't have. I mean, we can kind of track it with our DME a little bit, I guess, but if we have to hold, that's going to be a booger.
Firing 110.
110,
I don't see anything else on there that indicates speed or anything like that.
American 1613, going to maintain 13,000.
But I would be shocked if we are able to sneak in front of all these other guys that have been holding. So we're just going to anticipate that. And I guess do the best we can. I don't honestly know the procedure for that.
Fire 726, cross Bino 1000 to 250 knots, you have 3012.
Cross Bino at 11,000 for Fine Air 726 Heavy. Man, we maybe are going to catch a break since we're non-RNAV. Hey, finally an advantage to being old.
November 168 Charlie Fox, 17, good evening.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, but let's watch our mind our airspeed here.
501, good evening. Descend and maintain for level 200.
So we're going to try to get to Bino, and Bino is coming up here in, what did we say? Bino was about, oh, I got to look again here. Bino, 41 nautical miles away from San Juan, so we've got 46 miles to get down to 11,000.
Delta 633 is due on frequency.
There.
Delta 633, connect the SI1 approach 119.4. Good night.
Over 7 approach 1194. Good job.
Thanks.
Pretty close to that that inbound radial. What did we say? Yeah, 309 inbound. Speed's looking good. One last peek over here at fuel. Yep, no concerns here. That's going to be plenty of fuel to get us in. Altimeter is set.
Alright, 2230, you're still far away. I'll pick you up later on.
Again, I can't really brief the approach because I don't know. I'm assuming we're just going to be cleared or vectored for the ILS runway 10.
American 8141.
Excuse me, runway 8. That's what we're hoping anyway. So I have that ready to go in case that's what we get. If it's not what we get, well, then we'll make an adjustment.
Maintain 11,000, flight 8100.
Okay, I think we're fairly well on that. Maybe not quite. There is 14,000, so we're in good shape here.
Connect to someone approaching 119.4. Good night.
Approach 119.4. 1670.
Add a little bit of power back in here. We don't want to get too slow, but if we're down below 250, I feel good. There's 13,000.
Roger 451, Southwest Center. Good evening.
Gotta love the Milky Way showing up, making it a guest appearance tonight.
Number 68 Charlie, number 6 Charlie Foxtrot. This may maintain for level 200.
User maintain for 200.
1,000 to go.
68 Charlie.
American 8141, this may maintain for level 200.
00, American 8141.
And again, Bino, approximately 41 miles from San Juan. So we're down to 11,000 in plenty of time. We'll level off there and see what further instructions we're given. Alright, there's 11,000. Let's pay special attention to our speed here. Anywhere in that 240 range is going to be pretty good at this point in time. Doing pretty good, just again staying on that inbound as best we can. Coming up on Bino here, just about another 17 miles. And I think, fingers crossed, thinking we're maybe going to be cleared in. All the published holds, they're all on these RNAV arrivals, so
San Juan Center, American 216 over Mila, 19,000 for 23,000. American 216.
American, what's that again?
American 216.
American 216, San Juan Center. Roger. Squawk ident.
Ident. American 216. Center, good evening. 7/89, causing 105 from trade.
maybe the miracle of miracles tonight. 3-hour flight, drinking lots of water and not having to make one bathroom stop. What's going on there? Why are my kidneys shutting down? Alright, speed is hair on the low side, and then once that happens we start to pitch, and once we start to pitch
Your weight is 539.
you just about can't get the speed back up without dropping the nose here, so not doing too bad just yet. Hopefully we can get that speed back up and bring the nose down.
190 climbing. Trying to maintain flight level 230.
There we go. It's coming back up nicely. That is our flap speed if we need it. 205.
726 connect the San Juan approach 119.4 of the weekend.
1940, take care. Fine Air 726 Heavy.
And American 1091 to 17 1000. Altitude number 301.
Good evening, San Juan approach. Fine Air 726 Heavy at 11,000 inbound Bino.
Fine Air 726 Heavy, San Juan approach. Good evening. Expect that, let's 10 approach.
Expect the ILS 10 approach. Fine Air 726 Heavy. Oh, mama. Okay, well,
American 1613 does not maintain.
he's got a lot of confidence in me, boys and girls, because that's a 2,000 foot shorter runway. All right, but we can brief the approach a little bit here. And approach Fine Air 726. Would you like us to maintain 11,000?
Fine Air 726 accepted, so you can send maintain 3000.
Okay, on our way down 3,000. Thanks, 726. Okay, About to get real, boys and girls. Now we can let the speed come down, try to get into flaps range here in just a little bit. And let's take a look at this approach. So we need a localizer frequency of 1097 and a approach fix of 101.
American 1613.
We're going to be vectored in here, it looks like.
Turn left heading 120, maintain 2000.
And yeah, expecting 10. We will be. We can use Remsey if we need to, but I don't think we're going to need to. Whereas our 1500 is kind of our initial approach altitude. No, that's our final. No, that's not our final altitude. This is a confusing. Glide slope is picked up at 1500. Okay, so we're heading down to 3000 right now. That'll be our intercept, or our initial altitude. Let's go ahead though and put in 1097. And that course is supposed to be 101. We're on radio. Spin it around to 101. Okay, not alive just yet, which not surprising.
Our approach, good evening, American 1091 with you on 14.6.
We are below 10,000. Let's go ahead and landing lights can come on. Activate the continuous starters.
150, I'm adding 4,000 of the L2 for the runway 8 first American 1091.
Don't need to be descending quite so steeply. Let's pull back on that a little bit. Let's see if we can't get ourselves down to flaps range here. I also have no idea where the cargo area is here at San Juan. I can't say that I've landed here yet. 150, Fine Air 726. Alright, 150. Yep, get us a little bit more on that base leg there. Thank you. Basically almost all the way down to idle right now with my power lever. Still maintaining a nice just about 1,000 feet per minute descent. 7,000. I am going to throw a notch of flaps in once we get below 200. I've found that kind of helps me keep the speed in check on the descent a little bit.
Pioneer 726, I'm going to maintain 2000. American 1091, having to maintain 3000.
3000 American 1091 Heavy.
Pioneer 726, 9 miles from Ramsey, China 3120, maintain 3000 for the south is clear, LS 10.
San Juan approach, King 619 with you at 6000.
Can I ask I want to approach 280?
Turn heading 280, can I express 619?
San Juan approach, American 216, 2 miles west of Joshi. 10,000 for 8,000. American 216.
American 2 flat 1117.
11 American 216.
You broke up, just to confirm 1117, 1117.
1117, American 216.
American 1091, 5 miles from Wellington, telephony 100, maintain 3000 for the south is clear, let's Romeo approach.
Ultra 100, maintain 3000, that was clear, LS from 8 approach, American 1091.
American 1216, that's from a 8 approach, and flight direct board, Victor Alpha Romeo, November Alpha.
Expecting ILS 8, direct Victor Alpha Romeo November Alpha, American 216.
American 216, that's going to maintain 4000.
Descending to 4,000, American 216.
26 heavy contact, I 132.05.
Pioneer 726, wings at 08011, runway 10, clear to land.
holding short runway 8, KLM 2127.
KLM 2127 after the departure, turn left heading 350. Wings 080 at 11, runway 8, clear for takeoff.
On target, evening, American 21 with you, runway 8, right? Rest runway 8.
And fire 7266, bring to the left, contact ground point 9. And KLM 2127, are you ready? American 1091, wind 08011, clear to land, runway 08.
Alright, for land, American 1091.
KLM 2127, no delay.
Radar vector St. Thomas, Dennis found. Maintain 5,000 after 10 minutes. So 120.9 air, squawk 3732.
And November 508, Delta Bravo, read back correct. Push and start you on discussion. Expect runway 8 for departure. Advise me when ready to copy. Ready to taxi.
Roger, will call when ready. Taxi 508 Delta Bravo.
And 726, welcome to San Juan ground. There's a cargo area up ahead of you. Just taxi via Papa.
Ground, this is American 1255, ready for taxi.
American 1255, taxi to the ramp via straight ahead. Yeah.
American 55, we're actually departing here.
American 1255. Oops. Sorry, American 1255. Taxi to runway 8 via Sierra.
Runway via Sierra, American 1255.
And American 1091, welcome to San Juan. You can taxi via November.
It's over the ramp, American 1091.
You're on the